Greetings. Let's take some time today to talk about awakening and spiritual awakening, because the concept is the same, but what happens during can be very much different. So when we talk about awakening in this way, we're talking about waking up, shifting your perspective. Your beliefs that you've always known to be true are challenged and, for the most part, change. So awakening is just a shift. It's a consciousness change that you're going through. And I remember there's a distinct difference in how I felt when I awakened to what was going on in the world and what was going on when I awakened spiritually. So in 2001, we all know that the Twin Towers came down, and it was a pivotal time that changed most people's lives, no matter where you were in the world. But for me, what happened in September of 2001 is I realized that we were being lied to. I didn't understand the depth, and we'll never know the honest to goodness truth about what happened. But I knew in those moments what the media was sharing with us didn't even sound possible or real. And then the events that followed seemed to me all to be a lie, a deception, a creation of something to create war. But I didn't understand the bigger picture of when I became spiritually awake. I understood that these were human sacrifices, and that's just an honest to goodness truth. I can try to sugarcoat it for you. I can try to pretend that it's not true, but the truth is, war, any type of attack, it's a human sacrifice in the spiritual realm. In the world realm, it may be about some materialistic thing. And when we awaken to that, it's shocking. But when you look at it from a spiritual side, it can be more daunting. It can be more shocking. So most of us awaken slowly, and we begin to awaken to the lies that are happening in the world before we can see how there is a real battle between the spiritual world and the world we live in. So in the spiritual awakening, what happened with me, it happened slowly but surely, but I'll tell you the pivotal point was in 2016, and I really began to see things in the spirit world. I was able to see forms, I was able to see orbs, I was able to see angels and guides that were not in the physical form, but I was able to see them. And then they led me down a path to find who I truly was and the powers that I truly hold. So in a spiritual awakening, you're waking up to who you are, to the powers that you hold, and you're also letting go of some of the belief systems that you've learned. And when I say letting go, you have to understand that you've learned these things. They are a foundation, and they are important for your growth. So instead of replacing them completely, understand that there's a foundation and there's a basis for it. So I was raised kind of not in any type of church, but always seeking God. And then at some point I was forced into going to church, and it didn't feel like God anymore. But I say all that to say, in that time, in the Christianity, I learned about Jesus, and I learned about Jesus and how he healed. And I learned how Jesus really came here to save us. He didn't come here to save us as one single soul. He came here to save us by showing us our power to heal, our power to speak affirmations into the world. These are things that I'm all learning from my spiritual awakening, which was far different from what I was learning from my world awakening. So you have to realize that your beliefs will be challenged, that your understanding will be challenged. And if you think you're awake and the only evidence you are looking at is evidence that already fits the narrative that you believe in, then you have more work to do, because you've been lied to. You've been lied to, you've been deceived, and it's time to come out of that.